What happens if Russia invades Ukraine? Well, we've been telling you about the possible scenarios. We've compared troops, we've compared the numbers. We just walked you through the road that Russian troops may take if they were to come to Kiev. And like we've been telling you, if Russia invades Ukraine, there will possibly be a war between Russia and the West. It's not just going to be a war between Russia and Ukraine. NATO will be involved, whether they like it or not, and so will the US in some way or the other. Over the last few weeks, the US has been deploying troops to Eastern European countries, positioning them at strategic locations. But not all European countries are happy with these developments. Some do not want to host American troops on their soil. And some others are changing long-standing policies to accommodate the rapidly changing geopolitical situation.
Denmark is reversing a long-standing policy. Soon, the country will allow US troops on its soil.
The situation in Ukraine is a very clear reminder that we cannot take our liberty, peace and security for granted.
Denmark is one of America's closest allies in Europe. Both are NATO members. The two countries even fought together in Iraq. But after the Second World War, Denmark has never allowed foreign troops on its soil. It is now willing to make an exception. It is chalking out a deal with the United States. Denmark says the deal is about defending shared values and strengthening US engagement in Europe. Denmark does not share a border with Russia, but its bases could be of great importance in troop movement. On the 9th of February, Slovakia too decided to allow US military to use two of its Air Force bases. The 10-year deal was approved by Slovakia's parliament. Opposition members were not happy. They blocked the speaker's space, waved the national flag, attacked one another. Thousands rallied outside the parliament. Slovakia shares a border with Ukraine. Strategically, its location is priceless. But Slovaks fear that by hosting US troops, their country would be compromising on their sovereignty. Farther north, US troops are already stationed in Norway. They have been deployed there since 2017. In 2021, America and Norway signed another agreement. This one allowed Washington to build facilities at Norwegian airfields and naval bases. Norway shares a border with Russia. So does Finland, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania and Poland. Some 1,700 American troops have arrived in Poland. Another 1,000 troops have been moved to Romania. Both countries share the border with Ukraine. Lithuania has volunteered for permanent US troop deployment. The United States already has 500 troops and some equipment in the Baltic country. Lithuania's leadership wants to go a step ahead.
Of course, we will be talking to the US to make sure that the rotational US forces would stay in Lithuania permanently. That would be the best boost to security and deterrence that NATO could provide, not only to Lithuania, but to the whole world.
The US has permanently stationed some 70,000 soldiers in Europe. Most of them are in Germany. Over the last 2 weeks, some 2,000 additional troops have been deployed to Eastern Europe, and at least 1,000 troops have been redeployed. Russia views this as America's attempt to fuel tension. For the West, this is solidarity in the face of war.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.